Hey guys, today I want to tell you about some books that I want to finish before the end of 2020. Now this wasn't a video I was going to make. I just kind of decided last minute to do this. I didn't want to because it's the middle of October. I realistically thought, is there any point making a video of books I want to finish now when I have so little time until 2020 ends? Like, really, is there any point? And I decided that yes, there is, because by not doing this video, I was just making excuses for why I don't have to read these books. Whereas, if I make this video, you guys can hold me accountable if I don't read them. So it's your responsibility to give me the push I need to read these books. So I have 5 books on this list. I originally had 10 that I desperately do want to read before the end of the year. And then I thought, realistically, those 10 are not going to get read. And I don't want to feed you lies. So I thought, realistically, which of the books am I going to read? I narrowed it down to 5. And I'm going to go through this list and I want you guys to tell me which ones I need to prioritise, and more importantly, I need you to push me to read them. So the first book on this list that I am desperate to read is The Leaving by Tara Altebrando. Now this is a story about a group of children. How many is it? It's 5. Oh no, 6. Yeah. 11 years ago, 6 young children disappeared, and then today, 5 of them come back. And this story follows the sister of the young boy that didn't come back, trying to figure out why everyone got to come back apart from her brother. And it just sounds so good. It sounds amazing. I want to know why these children disappeared. Where did they go? Were they taken? Were they abducted? What's happening? And then I really want to know as well why one of them didn't come back. Like, what's the case? What's going on with this? And I'm addicted to finding out, but I'm also scared of reading it because I feel as though if I read it and it's not as good as I wanted it to be, I will be really disappointed, because this is like a 5-star prediction. It truly is. I think 3 of these books are 5-star predictions, and this is one of them. And I really want it to be great, and I'm scared of reading it in case it's not that great. And in my head, never finding out is better than finding out and it not being that great. So I need you to push me to read this one. Right, book 2 that I really want to read this year is More Happy Than Not by Adam Silvera. I recently hauled this, so check out that haul if you haven't seen it yet. Yeah, I recently hauled this one. This is about a young lad called Aaron whose life hasn't really gone to plan. And with the help of his girlfriend, he is finally getting his life back on track, and he's remembering what it means to be happy. Then he meets Thomas, and suddenly he starts questioning what he wants and what it means for him to get what he wants. And he starts questioning why life is so hard. Now, this one was recommended to me by Emma from Drinking by My Shelf. She did a video on Book Break where she asked for overly specific book requests so she could recommend them to us. And I thought, what the hell, I'll put one in. And I wanted a twist ending that would make me cry. And she recommended this one. I read They Both Die at the End by Adam Silvera earlier this year, and I cried. I sobbed a lot. And it has easily, I think, become my favourite book of the year. Up to now. It might change. But when I asked and she recommended a second Adam Silvera for a book that would make me cry, I knew I had to get it, and I desperately want to read it. I'm surprised I haven't picked it up yet. I think it's just the fact that I am really trying to stick to a TBR right now. It's literally the only reason I haven't picked it up. So I don't think I'll have a problem reading this. But if you have read it, I need you to really just tell me how amazing it is to encourage me to pick it up quicker. Okay, the third book that I desperately want to read before the end of the year is The Memory of Things by Gay Polsner. This is set on the day of 9/11, and it's about a young boy who, on his way home from school after the attack, finds a young girl with wings, and she is covered in ash. And the story follows him making the split decision to take her home and bring her to safety. And basically, that's what it's about. He's trying to unravel the mystery of who she is. And also, when he finds more out about her, he then starts questioning whether he can let her go. And I was so intrigued by this story before I found out what it was about. basically Celeste recommended this to me, or she didn't even recommend it, she just mentioned it, and I just kind of hopped on board like, yes, I want that book. Celeste kind of mentioned this book to me and told me it was about, or it's set on the day of 9/11. I bought it, really excited, because I'm anything 9/11. I really am. Just the story of that day interests me so much. I love reading about it. I love watching documentaries. And I found out this book was set on the day, and I thought, I need it. And then I bought it. And I actually thought that this was about a boy finding a young girl, like child, and him making the decision to take her home and keep her safe because his dad is a police officer. He takes her home because his dad will know what to do. And it's about him finding out this mystery of this young girl. Turns out it's not. I think this is a romance. So it's about a guy finding a girl, but they're roughly the same age, and it's about him not wanting to let her go because he's fallen in love with her. I don't know for sure, but I do think that that is what it's about. And I'm very intrigued. It is instead gone from a story about the day of 9/11 to a romance story that just happens to be on that day. And that's why I've kind of not read it yet, because in my head I built this up and it was a 5-star prediction. To be fair, it still is, but it's different to what I thought it was originally going to be about. So now I'm scared of reading it in case it turns out to be a really big letdown. So I need you to push me to read this one, please. Thank you. Okay, so the fourth book I desperately want to read this year is Crisscross by James Patterson. This is, if you include the bookshots, book 30 of Alex Cross. And I love Alex Cross. It is my favourite James Patterson series by far. I am crazy about it. And this is the most recent one. There is one more coming out now. Is it called Deadly Cross in November? And I need to read this one in time for the next one. And for some reason, I just think, in my head, I've just gone, oh, well, I don't own the next book yet, so there's no point reading this, because I've actually heard this ends on a cliffhanger. And I don't want to get into it, find out there's a cliffhanger, and then not be able to read the next book. So I've kind of put it off. But I've not pre-ordered it yet, but I want to pre-order the next book so that I'll get it when it comes out. And yeah, this is one I need to read in time for that. So I need to read this at the end of this month / start of November time, which is hell, because I have quite a busy month. But I need to do it. So I need you to push on with this one. I don't actually know what this is about, actually, so that's quite interesting. Mere hours after witnessing the execution of a killer he helped put behind bars, Alex Cross is called to the scene of a copycat murder. A note signed M rests on the corpse. You messed up big time, Dr. Cross. But I find that really interesting because I remember, actually, in the last book I read that was Alex Cross, someone he knew was murdered by this character called M. So now the story is about M, which has actually really excited me about it. And then I think this one ends on a cliffhanger and the M story continues into the third book, which will be book 31. So I need to read this. Encourage me to read it. I know a lot of y'all out there don't really read James Patterson. Siobhan, I'm looking at you to encourage me to read this one. And yeah, I know a lot of people aren't James Patterson fans. I am a huge fan. So a lot of you out there who don't really know James Patterson that much, I still need you to encourage me to read this, please. And the final book I need to read this year is The Guest List by Lucy Foley. There's no other reason that I need to read this other than the fact that everyone keeps telling me to read this damn book. And for some reason, I just decide not to. Like, I don't know why. I think maybe because it looks stunning and I just think if I read it, it's going to go hidden. Although after my birthday, my dad is buying me a... it's not after it. He's buying for my birthday a book cart. So the book cart is not going to be my TBR because y'all know I have a TBR of over 350 books. But all of my favourite books are going to go in there. So if I like this that much, it can go in there. But I think as well I've also put off reading this because when I first bought it, it was described to me as Agatha Christie's and then there were none. Like they're trapped on an island, someone dies, it's a whodunit. But it's not. A few friends have read this book and they've all described it the same way. It's not so much a whodunit, it's more of a who's dead. Because I thought the body was going to get found at the start and then the story was going to follow trying to figure out who did it. No, it's more a case of, I think there's two timelines. There's body dead and before. And you don't find out who did it until the end, and you don't find out who died until the end. It's very much that way. And I don't mind that personally. I would have been really devastated had I picked this up and read it without knowing that, because I felt as though I'd have been cheated. I know for a fact I would have. So I'm glad that I know going in, but I don't know why. There's just something putting me off reading it, because I think it disappointed so many people. But the thing is, it disappointed them because they expected it to be a whodunit. Like, now I know it's not a whodunit, it might not be the same disappointment, I feel. So I might still love it. But anyway, I need to read this. So encourage me to read this. I know a lot of people have. I need y'all to do it. So thank you so much. These are all the books I need to read before the end of 2020. And I need you guys to encourage me to read them. So if you have read these or any of these, let me know which one I need to prioritize first. And if you have not read any of them, let me know which one sounds the most interesting, because I want to hear your thoughts and I need to read them. So I need you guys to really, really encourage me. If you are not encouraging me, I blame you. If I don't read any of these books, I blame you. And if at any point you see me not reading one of these, I need you to really yell at me and say, shouldn't you be reading one of those books? So I'm probably going to do a TBR for November and December. Y'all need to make sure these are on here. Thank you very much. So that is it from me. Thank you so much for watching. Don't drop. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a like and a comment, and make sure you are subscribed and ring the bell so you're always notified when I post. And other than that, guys, I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.